Got to calm down. Not get
Lock
into that.
in. Don't worry about what's behind you. Just keep looking forward.
That's right. You know his heart is pumping 2,000 beats a minute right now. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to come around for the last lap. White flag is about to fly here in a moment. White flag. No more cautions. 28 or 48 out front. 42 up into the wall. Jonas Seawright able to gain a little bit of momentum on that, but he is unfortunately going to be still 8 seconds back. 48 coming around for the last time here at Rockingham.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Good work, boys, up in the booth. Thank you guys all for showing up tonight. Craig had an amazing job out on the track. We're going to go ahead and get our drivers up here for some interviews. Fontaine with the wind out of his sails. It's just going to be the two teammates, 1 and 2, 71 and 33 out front. I knew it. Fontaine's tires were falling off.
This 33 is going to get him. He's just got to play it smart.
33 on the inside.
Yeah, there he goes.
Coming down to the white flag here, and yes, Lynch underneath.
Last lap, ladies and gentlemen. Lynch going up front in the 71. 71 fighting hard to stay there. No, it's not going to happen.
Just pulling away.
Lynch coming out on top here at Bristol. Crossing that finish line for the down and out 133. Lynch taking the win. Like he is going to be catching him. Hopefully the 39 can maintain his line and stay out front. 2 to go. We cross for the white flag here. No more cautions after this. If he crosses this finish line, it is going to be the last lap. Just 4 more corners here at Charlotte. We're on our final lap, ladies and gentlemen. 39 battling it out with the 70. 39, no. He's losing that speed. Hopefully he can cross him over, but it looks like it may be Logan Wilson. And it is the 76 of Logan Wilson takes it home here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Go back to the Geico restart zone. Green flag.
You know, the guy or driver seemed to get a great jump. Is at 69 of Eller. He's 3 wide. As soon as he could be, trying to gain some positions.
In the 66, not having it. They're side by side, blocking Eller out. Eller's had to drop back a little bit.
Meanwhile, we've got a 3-truck battle. Almost 3 wide for the lead. Boone throwing the block from the apron.
White flag. No more cautions are out. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 32 up front. Looking like the 32 is pulling away a little bit, but we still got some corners to go. 9 dropping back. 74.
For the run.
Simmons is right there to take that 3rd spot away. Simmons he wants the win. And it's going to be the 32 of Bolton. Up 16 spots.
They're 4 wide behind them.
I know. I was trying to pay attention to the winner, but I seen looks like Tyler Kay and Kenneth Gallman are going to be battling it out for the restart here at Richmond for the down and out 175. This has been one of the most exciting races we've been able to watch all season. Here we go. Pace cars off the track. We're going back to the Geico restart zone. Green flag.
going down and the rig is on. iRacing is where I belong. Discord's lit and the drivers are here. This is GEC, there's no room for fear. Green flag drops and the engines roar. 40 cars and we all want more. Mash the gases, we're on the line. Four wide and we're feeling fine. Drifting close in a slipstream dance. Taking the corners in a high-speed trance. Tri-oval side by side in this GEC League, there's nowhere to hide. White flag need a perfect lap. All gas, no brakes to close that gap. Checkered waves in the racing world. Another battle is over and done. Cheers to the blue, hope they like the show. Victory lane is all I
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to Japan, the Far East, for the Mobility Resort Motegi track. If you're not familiar, this is not in North Carolina. This is not your grandpa's racetrack. This was built by Honda so that they could start testing Indy cars back in the 80s and 90s to compete in the American Open Wheel Series. But we are here with the THDesign Truck Series of the GEC NASCAR League for the Motegi Mo Problems 179. For this egg-shaped track, should be a fun race tonight. Drivers are just now wrapping up qualifying. We're going to take a look at our race breakdown. Again, this is race number 8 in the regular season here for the THDesign Truck Series. We're doing 120 laps. Stage at lap 48, and as usual, we've got 6 additional sets of tires. You will get disqualified if you reach 24 incident points, which we had a driver do last week. Up to 3 green-white checker attempts, and I expect the fuel window to be somewhere between 45 and 48 laps, which means this first stage could be a fuel run if we stay green. So keep your eye on that. I'm Shane Cochran up in the booth for you. We're going to have Joe Barrow and Dusty Haynes here. They're doing race control, so they're going to be jumping in and out of the booth as well. Looking forward to this one.
It's gonna be a good one. I think they're gonna have to settle down a little bit. It's probably gonna be sketchy there for first 10, 15 laps, but I think it'll settle down, hopefully.
I just hopped down and talked to one of the drivers, and they're getting roughly 30 laps per tank.
Oh, 30 laps. Okay.
Yep.
My number must have been off today.
He could have been driving it different as well.
Well, I just jumped in the
Based off
car
that
and
basis.
checked what the fuel gauge said. Usually that works, but I might not have logged enough laps here to get a accurate portrayal. Waiting for just 2 more drivers to jump in their car, but it's going to be Landon Cano in the 45 and Michael Boyd on the front row. We ride along with our pace truck. We're going to throw up the starting grid as soon as they get rolling. I think that's going to be everybody. So Cano and Boyd starting out front on row 1. Then it's going to be TJ Hanley and Cameron Craighead in row 2. With Jonathan Hammond and Brianna Thompson, last week's winner, in her debut race. Look for more out of Thompson than Gallman and Katz in row 4. Jay Monin and Coleman Chapman in row 5. Lee Kiernan and John Anthony, row 6. And it looks like we have 30 cars on track tonight. So Jamie Griffin and Kyle Simmons in row 7. Scotty Yancey and Weibel in row 8. Then Nate Weaver and Sol Denny, the sheep mom, in row 9. Abu Saeed and Alejandro Khan in row 10. Then Gonzalez and Sellers. I believe Gonzalez is a newer driver. I don't recognize the name. Maybe they've been with us previous weeks earlier in the season. Aaron Yancey and David Culleton, row 12. Then Joshua Faria and Hayes in row 13. Ricky Setzer and Jonah Seawright, row 14. And then out back going to be Robert McMillan and Shelton. And then I'm seeing Childs is listed, but I don't think she started the race yet anyway. So the 45 leads us to green, and we're underway at the Motegi Mo Problems 179 here with the THDesign Truck Series. And they're already 3 wide heading into turn 1. To me, this track kind of drives like a New Hampshire on steroids. A lot of lanes, and the 45 is loose down on the bottom. Keeps it straight, but the 09 gets turned. Still green. The 45 able to collect it up. Now the whole field is spread out. Cameron Craighead has taken the lead.
Oh, Jamie just got a little loose there.
Thompson to the outside. When this calms down a little bit, we'll go back and see what happened. We were watching live as the 45 got sideways down on the bottom, but saved it, and then the 09 got loose immediately after. And did Hanley also have a crash?
It looked like Hanley's the one that had the initial contact.
All right, let's
the
jump
other
back
car
and see what
up
happened
the
to
track.
TJ here.
Yep,
And right
there
as
it
I
is.
said it, there's the
Oh!
caution.
Rival.
So Hanley was the one right behind the 45 there on the bottom. They got together. We do have a caution out for Wyval. We'll catch up to that in just a minute. And then that 09 truck. Just wipes out there just in front of the 92. A little bit of contact with Kano on the bottom. But I think everybody else makes it through unscathed. Just really spread everybody out. Then on lap 2, we mentioned Griffin with an issue. That was what came next. Oh, it was actually, he was involved in Wybal's crash. Wyval looked like he might have missed a shift or had a hardware failure. We'll go back and look at that again.
He was loose coming off the turn and just a bit of a tap from the 5.
Yeah, right there. But again, it was the when we watched it from the blimp cam, the closing rate was a lot higher than I would have expected mid backstretch there. And yeah, maybe a little bit of net code or something, but the 53 really just kind of checked up and immediately got contact from the 5. Where's the blame or the claim going on that one, race control?
Nothing yet. 53 just claimed it.
Yeah, like I said, it almost looked like he missed a shift or something. I don't know if the drivers are shifting or not. We'll have to jump on board with someone to get a view of that. And we do have one. We had 2, but we lost connection with our second one. But we do have one driver out there who has volunteered to be our in-race reporter. We'll get some onboard footage here with Nate Weaver a little later on. Appreciate Nate letting us into his sim rig on the camera. I want to thank everybody out there in YouTube land for tuning in. We know there's a couple drivers here that have some tremendous fan bases tuning in each and every week. We love to see you all there. Let us know who you're pulling for. Let us know who you think's going to win this race. And is it going to be on speed or strategy? Just 4 laps in. Still a lot of racing to go. So we talked a little bit about the track. It's really a weird one. Like I said, not your grandpa's oval. Located in Tochigi, Japan. Originally known as the Twin Motegi Oval, because it's both a road course and an oval. We don't see the road course here, but Originally built in 1997, as I mentioned, by Honda to test and host open wheel racing, American style. So IndyCar, I think they were divided with kart back then, but that's what they're talking about. And it's really known for its asymmetrical design here, a little egg shape like Darlington, with turns 1 and 2 having a wider radius than 3 and 4. So drivers have to adjust both their line and their braking strategy at both ends of the track. Makes it a pretty technical one. If you're looking for your trivia question here, this track was the site of Danica Patrick's first and only IndyCar win in 2008. Next trivia night, keep that one in your pocket. First and only by Danica. Came right here in Japan. So we're restacked, ready to do it again. They're coming through turns 3 and 4. It's going to be Craighead and Thompson on the front row. Then Boyd and Katz. Green flag is out. Craighead off to a great jump on that one. We got a couple cars getting sideways and upset further back in the pack. And the yellow's out already. We cannot get kind of get rolling here. It looks like Shelton involved in this one. Yeah, just really mistimed the start and then got contact from whoever that was behind him. I think that's Hayes in the 82. We go back and ride along with Shelton on that one. I don't know. It might have been, again, I think just the awkward accordion effect of a field this large. Again, we've got 30 cars on the track, so it's 15 rows to the back. And something between Shelton and Hayes, they were not synced up on that restart. I'm also showing that Chapman might have had an issue before the green flag. We'll go back and check this out. Doesn't look like anything's going on to me. Oh, he was just blinking out. That's what that was. No contact, no damage or anything to worry about. But yeah, to me, this track is a lot like a New Hampshire. A lot of space. We saw a lot of good New Hampshire racing this weekend in real life NASCAR. But it's very similar. You can go all the way to the bottom. You can go 3 or 4 car widths up the track and try and build some momentum. But again, that oval shape, the egg oval shape, you got to remember what turn you're in and what your truck likes to do in 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4. But through the chaos already, a couple drivers gaining spots. Jonah Seawright has gained 9 positions in just those 2 quick restarts, up to 19th. Sellers gained 8 positions up to the 14th, but the only driver in this list that's in the top 10 already is John Anthony. He's made it up to 6th after gaining 6 positions. Sol Denny up 5 as well, and Aaron Yancey up 8. We'll see if everybody can keep their truck and their ducks in a row on this next restart. I think if we can get going green, we're going to see some really good racing. Looks like we got fans of all kinds of drivers in the chat. We got the IT and Out team cheering on their drivers. People cheering for Abu Saeed, Khan, Gallman, Hammond. Looking good out there. Again, some drivers are already moving their way up. Seawright up the most positions since this thing got started. As we look at our race analysis, we mentioned 120 laps, stage 1, 48, stage 2, 72. And we heard from one of our drivers that the fuel window is going to be somewhere just past 30 laps. So we are going to be seeing some pit stops here in stage 1 as well as in stage 2, maybe 2 stops in stage 2. We also heard from a lot of the drivers pre-race that the track and air temps were shifting a lot as the sun was going in and out of the clouds. So right now track temp's 88 degrees. We're going to check on that a little bit later to see if anything's changed. But right now it's Craighead and Thompson on the front row here for the third green flag of the night. 33 jumps up in front of the 48. He's going to have a clean arc into turn 1, but behind him they're already 3 wide. With the 41 of Cats all the way to the wall, as is Anthony. Now Thompson to the outside of the 33. For the lead. Not going to get it there. But here comes Michael Boyd in the 21. All 3 of these drivers in the top 3 have won this season. Craighead with 3 wins, Boyd with 2, Thompson with 1. But she is batting 1,000 in that GEC debut last week. At 48, made it to victory lane. She is hanging right there with Craighead. As a preferred line seems to be down around that white line right at the apron there in turns 3 and 4. And then when they come down to turn 1 and 2, that's where they really fan out. Still a good battle going on here in the top 5, but we've got some more racing going on back here. The 74 of Simmons was trying to get up beside Hammond and might have gotten in the wall or just gotten loose. And now Hammond looking under the 5. Not gonna do it. I have not figured out what's the passing line. Is it better to be down low or up high? It seems like the middle groove in 1 and 2 is what's been winning out, and the low groove in 3 and 4. A little bit of smoke there. As now Boyd has made it up to the 48. He's down low. And there it is. I think we pegged it there on out of 3 and 4. The low line seems to have the speed. But the 48 is trying to get back beside the 21. We've got some contact in the back of the field. Still green. The 53 is off pace. We're going to have to check on a couple of our drivers now. Hayes off pace as well. Oh, almost contact as the 21 dives to the bottom across the nose of the 48. While all this is happening, Craighead is out front. Just kind of pulling away. Now almost a second and a half. And he has the fastest lap of the races. There's our 3rd caution tonight. Whole bunch of drivers involved in this one. Kano, Sellers, Yancey, Gonzalez, Manin, Handley, Gallman, and Khan. We've got a couple things to check on. This one gets going. Well, first, let's go ahead and check in with what actually brought out the caution. We are riding on board here with Kano, and you can see heavy contact there as someone came across his nose one way or another. Go back and see that again. Oh, they're 3 wide. Yancey and Sellers get together, and Sellers is that truck coming down across the nose of Kano. That knocks him sideways. Sellers to the inside wall, then contact with the 19. That's Gonzalez. Then the 67. Monin. The 47. Really heavy contact there. And then Sellers, oh, just a little extra cherry on that caution Sunday. So heavy damage to a number of drivers on that one. Let's go back and we'll jump on board with Gonzalez. As he kind of saw all this playing out just in front of... Oh, it almost gets through. Or getting tagged by the 45. That's going to reset it, restack them one more time. Now, before that happened, it looked like Hayes had an issue. What happened here? Just got loose on his own down. Oh, and almost enters pit road. And yeah, he actually does end up coming down pit road for that one. And then there was this. Abu Said get in contact with the 53, as did Scotty Yancey. That looked like it was Weibel that was loose to begin with. It's coming down into the 2, so the 2 surviving. The 9 maybe picking up a little bit of damage on that one. But it's still Craighead out front. Right now, the top 3 in this race have made up 6 of the 7 wins on the season. The 7th win coming from Hammond. Who is currently running in 7th. So again, a couple drivers really making use of these early cautions. Biggest gainer is still Jonas Seawright, but he's gained 9 more positions since we last checked in on him. Now up to 10th, 18 positions gained, and Aaron Yancey in 11th right behind him with 12 gained, and Griffin now up to 6th after gaining 7. Setzer up 7, and Denny up 6 as well. So your starting lineup here for this restart is going to be Craighead, Boyd, Thompson, Katz, Chapman, Griffin, Hammond, Anthony, Simmons, and Seawright as your top 10. And for this one, why don't we go ahead and jump on board with our in-race reporter here. This is Nate Weaver. He has been as low as 24th and as high as 17th so far, and we're just going to ride along with him on this restart. He's right in the middle of the pack. We'll kind of see how chaotic it is. That one looked pretty clean. He's right on the bumper of that 2 Budweiser truck of Abu Said, who tags the wall. Keeps it going, and you can hear how much Weaver is feathering the throttle. Really taking it easy. There goes Weibel on the bottom. 3 wide up ahead. Couple of bumps in the track as well as they came out of the backstretch into turn 3. Looks like the 9 truck slid up a little bit and then gets a great run down off. Weaver now catching the 71 of Gallman. Here goes Kano. Again, that feather into the throttle, that's not what I expected. I thought it'd be a little more, brake, let it ride a little bit, then get back to the throttle. But you can see how hard it is trying to use the throttle to rotate the car in the middle of the corner. Abu Saeed up the track. Oh, almost into the 47, now coming down. Weaver's going to take advantage of that, go to the inside. He's getting that push from TJ Hanley. Hanley goes by. Now Weaver sticks side by side with Abu Saeed. We're going to thank Nate for letting us ride along with him on that in-car footage. Up front, Coleman Chapman has made his way to third, ahead of Thompson. Chapman up 7 positions from the start of the race. They're starting 10th. He's just really stuck in the top 5 ever since the first caution. Griffin with Katz to his outside and Hammond down low. Not side by side, but it feels that way when you're in these big sweeping corners. Griffin up 8 positions. We mentioned him early in our biggest gainers. And he's been moving forward steadily since this thing started. Now to the bumper of the 48. Gonna look inside. Ooh, has to check up a little bit. That's going to let Katz get to his bumper. And Hammond is watching all of this right behind them. Really 6 or 7 cars here, all within a second of each other in this battle for 5th. Chapman working on Boyd. This is for 2nd. Again, Craighead just pulling away. 2-second lead. 1.8, but it's going to 2 seconds right here. He's got something figured out that the rest of the field does not so far. As we're now 25 laps into stage 1. Most of our lead lap drivers have not pitted. So we might be seeing some green flag pit stops here in the next 5 or 10 laps. Ooh, Simmons tags the wall. He's still bouncing off of it. That's going to let Denny by. Denny now up to 9th. He's up 9 positions. Just steadily moving forward. That's what you got to do in a long race like this. Don't make any mistakes early. And try to avoid the bad luck along the way. Seawright up to 8th. Another driver that's been moving forward. Big jumps here on a couple of these restarts. Griffin still working on Thompson. Seawright going to join the party, though. He's going to go to the inside of the 92 of Hammond. And this is a tight pack. Three wide now. Hammond in the middle. Seawright down low. Thompson up high. As Griffin got around the 48, he's trying to pull away, and these three are really throwing down for P5. Seawright going to take it on the bottom. And there's hard racing all through the field back here. Anthony and Wyville side by side. Kieran and Kano were side by side as the 6 pulls just ahead now to the bumper of Denny. Now we are getting spread out. A couple cars off the pace, 66 and the 4. It's Setzer and Faria. Oh, Kenny now battling with Thompson. We saw Thompson up battling for the lead a couple restarts ago, but this run, that 48 truck has been drifting back. Wonder if she used up the tires a little bit in one of those early runs. And now that we're running this thing out on fuel, starting to pay for it. Griffin has made his way to third after getting around Chapman now. Trying to catch Boyd. He's got about a 1.2 seconds there. That car in front of that yellow car, I believe, is a lapper. And Seawright is following Griffin right up through there. Katz now inside of Chapman. This is the battle for 6th. And drivers are starting to hit pit road. Anthony, Thompson, and Craighead already down on pit lane. Craighead pitting out of the lead. That's going to leave Michael Boyd in the 21 of Dirty South Racing out front. And again, you see that yellow 47. That is Khan. 2 laps down. Going to get one of them back as he goes around the 21, as I'm expecting the 21 to come into pit here in a minute. But Khan did pit under that last caution, so he's going to have an opportunity to stay out while all the leaders come to pit road and get at least one of those laps back right here. Now Yancey, Chapman, both Yanceys, Kiernan, Faria, all on pit road. The top 6 are still out. They have not pitted yet. And this is, you can see Craighead trying to unlap himself as well. Oh, and the 21 throws the block on him. Craighead right now in the lucky dog position, the first car 1 lap down, but he'd rather go around and get it back himself. And this is the battle between old tires and new tires. I don't think the 33 appreciated that block too much. He's going to unlap himself and start to pull away. So if you're Boyd, you know you can't make it to the end of the stage, but you're kind of hoping for a caution here, maybe to trap some of your rivals a lap down. And here he comes to pit road. The 21 is coming in. Griffin right behind him. They were running first and second. That leaves Jonah Seawright out front in the 13, and at this point he has gained 27 positions. I know he's going to pit here in a second, but that's impressive nonetheless. So now Seawright, Hammond, and Katz have not pitted. Then Kano pitted back on lap 16. So he's going to have a shot at making it on fuel. Kano now up to 3rd. As Katz comes to pit road, and so does Denny, Abu Said, and Weibel. So Seawright's still out there. He has not pitted yet. Neither has Hammond. He's right behind him in the 92. These two might be just kind of running an experiment to see how far they can go. Oh, and Seawright is coming in to pit road right there. And the 45 of Kano inherits the lead with just 20 laps on the tank and on those tires and 13 to go. I think the 45 can make it if he saves just a little bit. And we'll pull this up and you can see. Oh, and there's a yellow. And Griffin with a black flag. It's also with a black flag. We're going to have to go back and check what happened to them. And the fourth caution is out. I think it was Denny and Yancey. Scotty Yancey involved in that one. Go back and look here. Oh, the O2 gets loose on the cold tires. It goes around. That did not bring out the yellow, though. I guess it did. Just not immediately. Let's go back and see how Griffin picked up his black flag here on lap 34. Oh, and you see then the O2 gets sideways again under caution. We're going to check on Griffin's black flag. He picked up right here, so I imagine it's speeding. And whoever else had the black flag, it's already been cleared. Boyd receiving, we'll check on him. Yeah, he might have been speeding coming into pit road. He and Griffin. I wonder if they picked that up because pit lane closed right as they were coming down. I don't think I have any race control in the booth at the moment, but we'll check with them when they jump back in here. Shelton also picking up a black flag right here. Yeah, it might have just been... Oh, is that Denny? Or Shelton? Somebody tagged the wall there. I think it was the O2. On the way to pit road. Might have been some confusion about whether or not pit road was open, as all the drivers trying to get all that stuff figured out. Try to re-render the paints here because that 09 truck of TJ Hanley, I know he's probably got a banging paint scheme, but it's not showing up for me just yet. Let's see if we can get him to show up a little bit better. So 30 laps in, we still have 10 to the stage. And Kano has inherited the lead just by running this one out. Still don't see that scheme for TJ. So Kano, Manin have leapfrogged to the front ahead of Craighead. They both pitted back on lap 16, which was the third caution of the night, and kind of by coincidence have been put in a position that they can make it on fuel. Now I think they would have preferred to keep it green because they had a 3 or 4 second gap back to the 33. Now he's right on their bumper, as is the 68 of McMillan. He's actually on that same strategy, pitted back on lap 16, so the top 3 drivers can probably make it on fuel, but they're on older tires. So look for Seawright, Craighead, and Hammond to be working their way around him as fast as they can, as everybody on fresh tires is going to be in a sprint to the finish with just 9 laps to go in the stage now. This has been a wild race from the start. Already 4 cautions and also 4 lead changes. Kano with a great jump. He's going to need it. Manin's got a mirror full of the 33 heading into turn 1. Seawright thought about trying to go 3 wide under McMillan, and he thought better of it, at least for now. Craighead now to the inside of Manin. Going to clear the 67 for P2. Here comes Hammond. Trying to follow that 33. We've got a driver up in the wall. I think that is Boyd. It is. He was already 2 laps down because of that black flag penalty. We stay green though, but that 21's race is going from bad to worse. Here at the end of stage 1, Kano trying to hold off Craighead. On those older tires, still 8 laps to go. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold him off for 8 laps, but he's still there, side by side. There goes the 33, dive bomb to the bottom, but the 45 is still there. And Craighead pulls away. Again, that bottom lane is where you want to be in 3 and 4. So Craighead to the lead. Kano and Monin still holding on to 2nd and 3rd. Hammond, the next car, on fresh tires. Seawright in 5th. Hanley 6th. Hammond going low. He's going to be in that preferred lane. Heading into turn 3. Drives it to the bottom. And right here in the center, that bottom lane can just drive away. We've got some contact in the back, and there is the caution, the 5th one of the night. With still 6 laps to go, I don't think that will be the stage. Check on Chapman. Oh, and it was the 71 down low that came up into him. He might have had some help too. Check that one again from the blimp. Oh yeah, the 53 and the 71 get together. I'm not sure the 71 knew the 53 was there the way he drove into the corner. There was also some contact between Chapman and Gallman heading into the corner that might have upset that 71 truck and made him have to go down there. All right, we're going to reset again. It looks like Shelton picked up a black flag. Maybe another one, or that must have been the same one we saw under the last caution back on lap 37. I believe that's Anthony going around. He is the Lucky Dog winner. Under this 5th caution of the night in the Motegi Mo Problems 179. Check in. Michael Boyd back on pit road again. He was 2 laps down when we saw him get up into the wall. Go back and take a look at that while we're waiting. Oh, hard contact from the 9. Then he's in the wall a couple times. I imagine the radio got pretty hot on that one. See that one again from up high. Yeah, that one kind of looks like the 9 missed his braking point. But maybe he had the tires in the line to get in there, but definitely got into the back of the 21. But Boyd still on pit road, taking care of those repairs. He's going to stay 2 laps down, though. And the way that caution came out, we've got... Oh, let's see. Just 15 drivers on the lead lap. A number of drivers got caught a lap down through that green flag cycle. That would be Griffin, Kiernan, Al Saeed, Khan, Denny, Katz, Faria, Weibel, Scotty Yancey, Kenneth Gallman, Holman Chapman. They're all 1 lap down. Then Aaron Yancey, Michael Boyd, they're 2 laps down. A bit of a deeper hole, but if all of these one-lap guys get their strategy figured out, that lucky dog might drop back to Aaron, currently running 27th. Just a lot going on here at Motegi. And they are coming back to take the green here on lap 44. Going to be an even shorter sprint to the end of the stage, I believe. I don't think they called stage just yet. Usually they do it if it's closer than 5 laps to the stage, but it was 6 when the caution came out, and they're back underway. Craighead on the high line, getting a great restart. Kano and Monin still on those older tires. They're staying out, trying to get all the stage points they can here, as Hammond and Handley try to find their way around. Oh, we got somebody hard in the wall. That's Kiernan in the back. Hammond to the inside of the 45. Can't get there, even with the fresh tires, but he has gotten in front of Monin now, as Seawright is thinking about getting down there. And Shelton, I believe, never served that black flag and just got DQ'd because of it. He is out. There goes Hammond inside the 45. 2 laps to go in the stage. Hana gonna slide up. That lets Seawright to his inside now. Hanley right behind him. And again, Craighead just pulling away. Every time he gets in one of these restarts where he doesn't have to battle through the dirty air, he just goes ahead and gives himself a big gap. Seawright a little loose there as the 45 and 13 almost made contact there in turns 1 and 2. And there is the slide job. 45 has to check up. Seawright now up to 3rd, and there is the stage caution, I believe. I don't see anybody off pace or in the wall. So your drivers getting stage points going to be Craighead out front, then Hammond, Seawright, Kano, Handley, Thompson, Monin, Sellers, Simmons, and Weaver. Pretty great racing here in stage 1. Look at our race recap so far. 49 laps into this one. Craighead is leading. He's led 37 laps of those 49. We've had 6 cautions, including this one for the stage. And it looks like we might have just had heavy contact under caution. We're going to check on that real quick. Between Denny and Yancey. I imagine they're going to check up the field here, and the O2, yeah, just not on the brakes soon enough. Never like to see that, but it is just kind of a product of iRacing, especially under caution. You reach over to get some hydration, you check your team chat, and before you know it, the guy in front of you has stopped because he caught the field. Again, I imagine the radio is going to be lighting up for that one, as well as some of the other contact we've seen already in this race. And there looks like almost everybody on the lead lap going to come to pit road. But what's important here for strategy is that Seawright, McMillan, and Anthony all stayed out, which means all of those drivers trapped 1 lap down cannot stay out and take the wave around. So that's going to hurt. But I believe Griffin is the driver who just picked up the lucky dog. So Griffin's going to get his lap back and be able to pit. Next driver in line will be the 53 of Weibel. They stay the way they're lined up now. Drivers on pit road getting off just in time to stay on whatever lap they were on. Griffin gonna be racing around to catch the field. They're 1 to green. So they're driving into turn 1 now. So again, the key there was that Seawright, McMillan, and Anthony all stayed out. That locked all those drivers trapped 1 lap down to still be a lap down, with the exception of Jamie Griffin, who just grabbed the lucky dog. Seawright up 27 positions to be in the lead here to start stage 2. What a climb he's had. Got to imagine he just had a bum qualifying session, but had speed and has used it to get to the front. The driver on the outside row is Robert McMillan of the IT and Out group. Again, what a climb to the top, catching the caution at just the right time there at the end of those green flag cycles. And Anthony, he actually started up in the top 10, especially after the first caution, then dropped back and has been fighting his way back, able to use some strategy here and stay out to get up into the top 4. And we're racing again. Green flag is out. Drivers all over the place here back in the field, trying to find their way into turn 1. Craighead down low, looking inside of Hanley. They're 4 wide behind them. And Kano gets loose. Saves it. Culleton gets loose. He's into the inside wall. Still green, though. Just a single car spin. And we've seen it all night. These trucks are loose on cold tires. So Kano drops all the way to 12th. Culleton 10 seconds behind the leader now by himself. He's going to be open for another caution to get caught up. I'm not sure he has that much contact, but there is some visible dents there to the left front fender. Right now, we've seen it all night. Whoever's in the lead has been able to pull away pretty well. Seawright now with a half-second lead over a Handley, who has marched his way to P2. And here comes Craighead and Thompson, as they're now trying to get around Anthony on those slightly older tires. So Seawright with the oldest tires on the track, 18 laps since he was last in, but he took 4. Hanley pitted 4 laps ago under this caution, but only took 2 tires. That's how he got up there, and the 09 is loose right there. They're hanging on to it, and they're starting to track down Seawright. Craighead, though, the first car on fresh 4 tires, and he is using them to the inside of the 09. He's going to clear him. That's up to second. That 33 has led 37 laps tonight. Seawright has now led 8. The only other drivers to lead any tonight were Kano and Boyd. So up front, battle with JWR versus Skidmark Motorsports. And if you're Seawright, you've got a decision to make. Do you want to try and hold him off, slow him down, so you can have a better chance to catch him later in this run in the stage 2 if it stays green, or you save your tires, let him go? You know he's got the advantage on rubber. Seawright tagged the wall a little bit, lost some momentum. That's going to let the 33 to his inside, and he's going to drive off of turn 4 out front. The 09 does the same thing. As he tries to stick with the 33 now. Thompson and Hammond filling out the top 5 right now. And a little bit of a door bang between the 13 and the 09. All's fair for now. So C right now drops back to 3rd. Older tires making him pay the price. Got a battle here between Monin and McMillan for 8th place. They get it sorted out. And back here, it is a hornet's nest. Again, there's about 10 drivers trapped a lap down because they had pitted before that caution came out through a green flag pit cycle. And they are all battling for that lucky dog position right now. The 53 of Weibel has it. And Coleman Chapman is trying to take it away. Just behind him, though, Weaver and Sellers are battling. They're on the lead lap. This is a battle for 10th. And Griffin, who just picked up the lucky dog, when you get that lucky dog, you have to start behind everyone on track, even the lap cars. So he has been having to pass through every single truck out there to get where he is. Now in 12th position, just behind Kano and Weaver. We jump on board with Jamie. He is tracking down the 81 there on his outside of Nate Weaver. And this battle is just heating up. Weaver starting to drop back a little bit on this run. Up front, Seawright is going back around the 09. I wonder if TJ had a bit of a slide there. The 13 back to P2. Hammond now battling with Thompson. Not quite going to clear the 48 just yet. Ooh, well, they almost get together. They're both aggressively side drafting each other. Going to that middle lane on the straight. And that time, Hammond clears the 48. Monin and Anthony right on each other's bumpers. But Thompson and Hammond still going at it. The 48 threw it down low and made it stick. The 92 with a head of steam heading into turn 1. The 48 tags the wall. It looks like Hammond's going to take 4th for now. A little further back, we've got this battle going on between Katz, Chapman, that 19 truck is on the lead lap. Katz and Chapman are 1 lap down. So the battle for the lucky dog is right here between the 53 and the 07. Chapman, one of those drivers, was running up in the top 10 early in the race. Again, catching that same bad luck as about half the field did when that caution came out just before the end of stage 1. So we're just now past, a little past halfway, 65 of 120 in the books. Back up front, Hanley goes back around C right now. Definitively this time, as C right now dropping back into the clutches of the 92. The longer we go on this run, I think the more the tire differential is going to show up for that 13. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, 14 laps older, so they're now twice as old as everybody else. And we also, that fuel window is coming up for the 13 before too long. A caution would be great for Jonah right now to even everybody back out to the same strategy and let him keep that track position. But there is the next caution. 7th one of the night here on lap 66. Looks like we got a couple different pieces of contact that led up to it, but Thompson is the one that has crashed out and headed to the pits. Let's watch the 48 here. Slaps the wall, almost saves it, then into the inside wall. And that brought out the caution when she jumped to the pits. We'll see how bad the damage is. Right now, she's already 1 lap down, probably still towing. But Weibel raced out that 07 of Chapman and has picked up a lucky dog this time around, unless he had any contact or something. That'll put 15 cars on the lead lap. And we'll see what the leaders do here. There might be an opportunity for other drivers to take the wave around. And again, I think the driver who won out on that caution is going to be the 13. He was going to have to come to pit road in the next couple of laps and give up all that track position and go at least 1 lap down for about the next 10 laps or so. So this caution is going to let him reset. Even if nobody else pits, he'll still be on the lead lap with much fresher tires than everybody else. But it looks like everybody's coming in. So you see Chapman and who is that? Katz, Abu Said, Denny, Khan, all staying out, all going to get an extra lap back. Boyd as well. So Weibel with the lucky dog, and Chapman, Katz, Abu Said, Denny, Khan, and Boyd. They are both let's check. They're both 2 laps down, so they're going to go back to 1 lap. So now Khan and Boyd will be the drivers racing for the lucky dog. Setzer has picked up a black flag. Check on that. It's at entry, so that was either probably just speeding there, getting onto pit road for the 4. Setzer having a rough night of it, but still out there, still racing, still gaining positions every time another driver drops out. So as they get the 1 to green, you'll see all these wave around cars that stayed out go around the pace truck, head to the back of the field, and I believe Handley is still the leader. Gonna check how he got it away from Craighead. Well, it's in the pit lap time, so their pit stops were pretty much identical, but Handley spent 3 seconds less on pit lane. So either he got in faster or got out faster than Craighead, and that's what gave him the lead. Hammond did the same thing. So Craighead almost 2 seconds slower than Hammond. Again, even though their pit stop itself was about the same time. So there go the wave arounds. Handley and Hammond going to be the front row with Seawright and Craighead there. Kano now up to 5th. And it is a mixture of teams up here. Let's see, you got to go all the way to 7th before you get a repeat teammate. TJ Hanley racing for THDesigns, Jonathan Hammond racing for Infield Legends. Craighead with skid mark, and there's a green flag as Hanley takes the green flag. That is got us back underway. Hammond and Craighead right on each other's bumper. Monin hanging on to the outside. So Monin, another truck that was on one of those stay out and see if you can make old tires work strategies. Gained him a ton of position there. Got him in the top 5 right now. As Craighead is under Seawright. Seawright lost some momentum and he is dropping. Hanley still out front with a 2nd lead. Hammond down low on Seawright. 13 looks like he wants to tuck in behind him, but he's got Kano to his back fender as well. They all tuck back in single file for a minute, and then everybody looking to pull out and dive to the bottom here in turn 3. Kano's going to do it. He's going to take 4th from Seawright. Mana now under fire from Anthony. This is the battle for 6th. And Simmons in 8th is watching this battle, trying to decide how he can get in there. Greg had just turned the fastest lap of the whole race, 36.42. That's 2/10. Well, it was. Now it's only 7/100ths faster than what TJ Hanley is doing out front. Clean air has been the key to this race so far. Everyone who's gotten out front has stuck there and led about 10 laps before even drivers with fresher tires are able to catch them. So now it's Hanley and Craighead battling for the lead, about a half second between them. They're the 2 fastest cars on track. Trucks, that is. Now that everyone's spread out, we're going to do our team check-in. Starting with THDesigns, TJ Hanley and Sol Denny. TJ here in the lead, with Denny not having the best night on the lead lap in 19th. Still out there battling. Then Skidmark Motorsports, 2 drivers in the top 10 of Craighead and Anthony, but Kiernan and Childs did not start the race, so don't count that one. But Kiernan back in 20th. He is currently the lucky dog, so he's looking for another caution. Then 3rd place, Jonathan Hammond is leading the Infield Legends Motorsports team. Abu Said back in 18th, still on the lead lap. Then Khan in 23rd. Khan is 1 lap down. Gonna have to get up and catch Kiernan for the lucky dog. And Landon Kano, one of 2 drivers in tonight's race for the IT and Out Esports group. McMillan back in 17th. I saw him up front here not too long ago on some tire strategy, but back in 17th right now. Then Seawright for JWR, the only truck in tonight's race for JWR, but in the top 5. And Monin, no team association, and don't look now, but here comes Jamie Griffin. He's been battling back after he took the lucky dog 2 cautions ago. Worked his way up to 8th, trying to get 7th. Driving for North Star PC. Simmons with Outlaw Performance. He's leading that team in 8th right now. Nate Weaver back in 11th and Sellers in 14th. The next team is our Racing Edge with David Culleton, the lone driver out there for Racing Edge tonight. We saw him get loose and make contact with the wall, but he's rebounded up to 13th now. He's fighting with the 53 of Weibel, who just got the lucky dog. Oh, a little bit of contact there. I don't think these two drivers are too thrilled with each other at the moment. And Coleman, Chapman, and Weibel. Oh, he skipped Weibel because he was passing. There's the caution, and it's the 53. We didn't see it live, but we saw the prequel leading into it. Go back and see what happened to the 53. So I'm racing with the 50, and they were getting together a little bit. And it looks like Culleton just drove it in a little too hard on the bottom and drifted up. Weibel not going to be thrilled with that. He'd been working to get a lucky dog for about the last 50 laps and just got it. He was driving up towards the top 10. So now it's Coleman Chapman is leading Dirty South Racing's run in 14th. I believe Lee Kiernan just picked up the lucky dog. Let's see. I'm showing the 6 as the first car one lap down and they have not given out that lucky dog just yet. There it goes. That puts 20 cars now back on the lead lap. And we're going to have a little bit of a shakeup in pit strategy here as 5 or 6 cars stayed out and everybody else headed to pit road just now. So Craighead, Monin, Anthony, Gonzalez, and McMillan all stayed out. They all pitted back on lap 67. And now, Weaver goes fuel only to jump all the way to 6th. Then Handley, Kano, Hammond, Seawright, and everybody else behind him just came in for 4 tires. They're going to have an 11-lap advantage on tires of Weaver and everybody in front of him. But yeah, I love to see when we get a chance to split some strategy around. People staying out, going fuel only. We haven't seen tires matter all that much early in a run, so if we get another quick caution, you might be able to use this to your advantage, especially for Weaver. You can see he jumped from about 13th or so up to 6th. 7 spots gained by going fuel only on that stop. Took 4 tires on the stop before. There's been 8 cautions, one of them for the stage, 7 for cause. 23 laps of pace to make it 24 after this one. Kiernan just picked up a black flag coming into the pits. I imagine sometimes a lucky dog gets caught in a glitch where even though you're the lucky dog, you don't get an opportunity to pit the way you should. Again, no race control in the booth with me right now, but I'm going to guess that 6 just picked up a black flag for that lucky dog pitting glitch that we get sometimes, and they will probably waive that for him. Right now, he's still got it. He's in 18th. We're going to check on that weather again. If you remember, it was 88 degrees on the track the last time we checked. It's still 88, so the sun not playing too much havoc with the drivers so far. We'll keep track of that as the race winds on. But right now, green flag is out. Here with 40 laps to go. Remember, that fuel window is closer to 30, so we aren't done pitting yet. Hanley to the middle, 3 wide. He's got McMillan down low, Weaver up high. Oh, and there's other cars on the Hammond gets underneath of them as well. Griffin going 2. Top 3 pulling away, but it is a dogfight here back around 5th, 6th to 10th. Hammond in the middle. He's loose. Saves it, but loses the momentum. That lets Griffin, Seawright, Simmons go by. Griffin now in 6th. Seawright in 7th. And again, those drivers who stayed out, Craighead, Monin, and Anthony, they're still the top 3. Then Gonzalez is in 5th. In that 19 THDesigns scheme, that is a sharp looking paint job TJ's got for him. We got some contact in the back. Gallman may be having an issue. Gonzalez drops back to 7th now as Seawright goes around. And then the dogfight continues. Katz, McMillan, Hammond, Chapman. Contact between Chapman and Hammond. That sends the 92 into the wall. McMillan's also in the wall. Here comes the 92 back down the track. A little bit of contact with Boyd as he goes by. Somebody just went around Faria. He saves it. Drifts all the way to the back of the pack, though. A lot of action in that corner. Let's check what happened to Gallman on lap 81. Comes up on the 47 and the truck gets wicked loose. Goes around then into the wall. He's going to jump to the pits here right after that one. So it's still Craighead up front. But Monin is in 2nd, under fire from Hanley. They're still side by side. Out of turn 2. And again, we want to thank everybody out there watching tonight. Contact between Monin and Griffin. Looked like the 5 was getting a little aggressive trying to pinch him down. You've got to do that, though, to get a run off of 3 and 4 on that driver on the bottom. That drops Griffin back a bit. He's in 4th. Was going for 3rd. Chapman now trying to get around Weaver. Got Denny behind him. Sellers in front. Oh, heavy contact for Culleton. The 50 goes around, and that's going to be the 9th caution of the night. Abu Saeed involved in that one as well. Oh. Getting messy out there. Check what happened to the 50 of Culleton. He's inside of Abu Saeed, and they just disagree over where the line is. Go back and watch that one again. Boyd is there with them. And right there, I think the 50's expecting the 2 to go to the wall. And when they don't, contact there, the 50 gets the worst of it. And I think the 50's already had to use a fast repair in this race, so that is going to hurt David. But it's going to set us up for a really interesting amount of laps here. The reason being, the pit window just past 30 laps. We take a look at all the pit stints by the leaders. You can see the longest anyone has gone is 37 laps. 35, and everybody's shuffling around here. But that was with a ton of cautions in the middle. If we stay green, I think you're looking at a 33-lap run, and that is exactly how many laps are left right now. So everybody coming to pit road can make it. They might not have enough for a green-white checker, but if they catch a couple cautions in between and remember to save, that could set them up on fuel. And right now, there were 4 drivers that stayed out. Simmons, Weaver, Sellers, and Abu Said are the 4 drivers that stayed out. They're going to be at a 9-lap disadvantage on tires. They cannot make it on fuel, and everybody behind them has fresh tires and fuel. So I'm not quite sure what the strategy is if you're staying out here, unless somehow you've already used up all your tires, or you're trying to save a set for a later restart. But Kano will be the first driver out of the pits that can make it on fuel, taking 2 tires on that stop to leapfrog Craighead a position or 2. Then Griffin on 4. Denny went fuel only, gained a bunch of positions as well. So it's all shook up now on strategy. We've got drivers that can't make it on fuel, drivers that can, 2 tires, 4 tires, fuel only. Yeah, people probably reading their horoscopes, people with tarot cards, lucky rabbit's foots, whatever you got. See what you can do. We've now had 6 different leaders. Craighead has been dominant, but Handley and Seawright both got out front on slightly older tires. I believe Handley was on older tires when he did. I know Seawright was. And were able to stay there for about 10 laps before the tire differential caught him. Kano, Boyd, and Simmons all picking up a couple laps. Simmons doing it right here under this caution. Take a look at our wrench wranglers tonight. We've had a lot of damaged trucks out there. Setzer has been making repairs most of the race, but Aaron Yancey with some of the longest repairs of the drivers still running. Sol Denny with over a minute damage in the top 10 right now. Jamie Griffin with 36 seconds in the top 10. Monin with a few seconds, he's in the top 10. All those drivers rebounding really well. And then they come back to the green flag here at Motegi. Already 3 and 4 wide. We're going to probably have a reminder after this race that you're supposed to... There isn't a hard requirement that you stay in your lane, but that's a lot of drivers fanning out early before they get to the start-finish line even. And now Seawright and Abu Said involved in a crash. Seawright almost goes over. Handley, the 2 car still bouncing off the wall and other drivers. That was nasty and took out a few of our heavy hitters who had pitted and dropped back through the field. So Abu Said picks up the meatball there. That means that's heavy damage. But I think they still have their fast repair, at least on my screen. So the 2 car should be okay. And they shouldn't even lose a lap if they can get back to the pits the way they need to. So now it's Simmons up front. Weaver in second. We're going to go back and see what exactly happened. I know about 10 cars were involved. We're going to start with Gonzalez in the 19. Just behind Hammond. Oh, and it's actually in front of them. It's the 2 and Seawright that get this one started off. Let's try this again. Here we go. So Seawright's down low with Monin. Oh, so the 2 gets loose, comes down into the 13, and they both go for a ride here. Seawright almost flips. Anthony gets spun. Gonzalez hard into the inside wall. The 09 destroys the 2. Weibel with contact. Yancey with contact. Setzer with contact. Culleton might be the only truck that didn't hit anything in this one that was in this group. Let's jump on board with the 50. Let's see what happens here. I mean, they're about a football field in front of the 50 car. And he's got nothing but smoke and parts flying every which way. What a job by the 50 to get slowed down and make it through that. And we're still under caution. Let's go back and watch that one again. That is just such a wild wreck. With Hanley here. Just no. Oh, he got pushed into from behind. I think that was Wyvil that got him. Let's watch it from the blimp this time. And that push, that's how that slam into the 2 happened. All right, so once again, we're all shook up. We've got a hodgepodge of strategies, a hodgepodge of drivers up front. Simmons as low as 14th, as high as 1st, right here, leading here the last couple laps under caution, then on the restart, and then some more under caution. Weaver in 2nd place, using strategy here in the final laps to leapfrog over the top 10 up to 2nd. Griffin worked his way up to 2nd earlier in the race. Now he's in 3rd after some repairs and 4 pit stops in between. Could be 28 laps to go. I think at this point everybody can make it on fuel. Cano's in 4th, Sellers in 5th. He's up 17 positions from where he started the race. I mean, a lot of these drivers have just had to overcome so much adversity, whether it's been black flag penalties for speeding, picking up a lucky dog, avoiding a wreck, being in the wreck. And Craighead has just kind of been chugging along. It seems to be the fastest truck most of the day. There's always been a handful of drivers deciding to stay out and throw a wrench into his plans. So we're green again. Simmons out front. Jamie Griffin up to 2nd. Contact as the 45 gets nudged out of line. He's now down low under Craighead. They're 3 wide, maybe 4 wide. As Katz throws it in on the high line. He's been doing that all night. Now Cano trying to chase Craighead through. Griffin battling Weaver for 2nd. And now Craighead catching up to the bumper of that 81. We're going to jump on board with Nate because he is our in-race reporter tonight. 26 laps to go. But he gets in the gas a little early and drifts up. Too aggressive that time. That lets Craighead pull away. Same there, drifts up. Downshifts to 3rd. Now he's battling Cano on the inside. With Chapman right there as well. Battles all through the field. 21 cars on the lead lap, and there is the 11th caution of the night. It looks like Hammond and Seawright involved in this one. Seawright was picking up heavy damage that last time, and Hammond and Seawright, both cars that we've seen running in the top 5 consistently. And here it is, Hammond and Kiernan racing. This is around 8th. Oh, and I think Seawright thought there was a door, and Hammond closed it a little late, maybe. I mean, that's kind of a racing incident. Both guys going for the same spot, but I don't think the 92 was expecting him to throw it in there. And I don't think Seawright was expecting Hammond to try and run the low line in the corner. That's a rough one there for those two. Again, both of them had been running up front for a good portion of the race. Seawright is in 9th right now. Woo boy. 24 laps to go. Probably going to be 22 when we come back to green. Check on that pit strategy because we've got every which way right now. So Simmons and Weaver, they've got 18 laps on there. Those two still can't make it. Sellers is with them. They cannot make it on fuel by my math unless they're, you know, completely shutting it off and saving a couple gallons under these cautions. So Griffin is now the first driver that can make it on fuel, but he's got Craighead right in his mirror. And there you see Simmons and Weaver, Seawright and Sellers all going to come down. So from here, everyone should be able to make it on fuel. We can stop worrying about that, and it's all going to be about tires and raw speed. Heading back to the checkered flag. Check in on the weather. It does look like the sun's gone in, and there you see it. Whoa! That lucky dog goes flying by. That's Wyville this time around. But the track temp has dropped from 88 to 81. Completely different driving experience. I couldn't tell you what it's different, but I know in practice the drivers were complaining that as the sun was going in and out, the track was changing significantly. So drivers who were fast early might not be the fastest anymore. That might be why we see drivers like Griffin suddenly pulling to the front. Kiernan suddenly marching to the front. Seemed like not too long ago that 6 was working really hard to pick up a lucky dog and get back on the lead lap. And there it is. I mean, he was as low as 25th at the beginning of this stage. And it's just been marching forward ever since, especially in the last 20 laps as that temperature has dropped. So keep an eye on the 6. He might be a driver that the colder temps are leaning into. In terms of fastest laps, though, Craighead has now worked it down. You can see, earlier in the race, we were looking at times that were like 36.6, 0.8, and that's 0.6 different now. I know we had worked down to the 36.4s at one point, but Craighead with a 36.23. So right now, the two fastest drivers, or the people who have driven the fastest laps all day, are on the front row, going to fight this one out. And this isn't the first time this season we've seen Griffin and Craighead out front in the closing laps. And they put on quite a show the last time this happened. See what they do here. They're coming down the backstretch. It's going to be 21 laps to go when they take the green flag. Griffin and Craighead, I believe, are on the same strategy. Same tires, same fuel. Kano has been hanging in there as well. He's one of those drivers that it seems like every time he has an issue and drifts back, he comes right back to the top 5 for the next restart. And the pace truck is in. Green flag is out. 22 to go. Gonna be 21 at the line. Griffin with a pretty good jump. He's gonna jump up in front of Craighead immediately. Craighead getting a pretty good push from Chapman on the outside. Oh, contact! Hanley gets sideways and saves it, but he's gonna lose a bunch of positions. Look at this mess. We got cars diving every which way here in the back. Weaver caught in the middle. Contact there. Contact again. It was Simmons and Sellers first. Then it was Weaver and Yancey as they reacted to it. Griffin under fire for the lead by Cameron Craighead in the 33. He's going to take it, but Griffin looks to cross him over. He's got his nose poked out, but he doesn't have the speed on exit. But he's right there. Oh, he gets down the apron just a little bit. That pushes the 5 truck up and lets the 33 pull away. Small mistake there for Griffin. He's still got 19 laps. Dragging him down. Katz now working on Kiernan. 6 to the inside. He's going to take 6th place there. Here comes Denny and Boyd. Those 2 trucks were both wrecked pretty badly at one point in this race. I can't believe Michael Boyd got those repairs done and got all his laps back, but he has. And here he comes to the inside of the 67 of Monin. That's for 8th. He's going to take it. Monin now back to 9th. Seawright in 11th. Another car. I mean, he's been involved in the last 2 cautions. Still rebounding. Led for a while here. Here comes Hanley. And he looks like he's driving angry. He's been wrecked once or twice. He's gotten sideways a whole handful of times. Oh, almost some contact there as Denny throws a block on Monin. Monin was not going to lift. Let's bring in Hanley and Seawright to the inside of Monin. Oh, but they're all catching up to Denny at the moment. Hanley goes down low, drives it in. This is 3 and 4. That low line is where you want to be, and you can see how much speed it has as he gets by the O2. Little bit of contact there, though, so Seawright clears Denny. This is getting wild. Simmons with an issue that lap. Kind of all by himself. See if we can figure out what happened there. Oh, he got sideways and loose. And yeah, into the inside wall. That's not going to work. So Craighead out front now. About a half-second lead over Jamie Griffin. Skid mark versus NPC. Oh, but just then, Kano to the inside of the 5. He's not done yet. Kano not yet catching a win this season, but he's had 3 top 5s and 2 podiums. Knocking on the door here. Griffin going to retake P2 for now. Chapman joining the chat, and there Kano just power slides up to the 5. Griffin not going to be happy with that move, but he can't get back to him just yet as Chapman is down there. Kano dives back to the bottom, and now there's contact between Chapman and Griffin. Griffin's going to be doubly upset now. That's 2 drivers that both just made contact with him to make the passes here with 13 to go. If I'm either of those drivers, I do not want to see that 5 getting closer to my bumper for the rest of the night. Kiernan and Boyd battling it out for 6th here behind Anthony in 5th. Behind them is Katz, Seawright, and Hanley rounding out the top 10 right now. Still 21 cars on the lead lap. Hammond in the lucky dog position if a caution were to come out. Seawright down low on Katz. Hanley all the way to the white line. Making it stick. He's going to clear Katz. The 41 has some damage there on the right front. That's got to be hurting him. Chapman now right on the bumper of the 45, trying to take second. Right in his tire tracks. Not with a run. Seawright and Hanley, they've been passing cars kind of as a pair here, but they are battling now. It's for 8th. Great battle here. Battles all the way through. The Chapman and Kano still trying to work it out for second. Kiernan just ahead of Hanley and Seawright, trying to figure it out for 8th. We're refreshing our paints one more time. I know Hanley's probably got a sick scheme under there, and I want to see it. There we go. Looks like we're getting some updates on all the trucks now. Apologies. It seems like my trading paints was having some issues, and now it's figuring itself out. Almost 3 wide. Hanley, Seawright, Katz. Hammond's right there, too. He's a lap down in that lucky dog position, I believe. But still racing with the boys and the girls here tonight. Oh, Seawright and Hanley make contact. And then down low. I don't know if I want to be in the middle of this fight right now. This is the closest battle on track here between Seawright and Hanley for 8th. 7 laps to go. Craighead still maintaining a 7/10 lead ahead of Kano and Chapman. Hanley gonna throw it in on the bottom as both of these drivers have caught Kiernan, and he slides right up in front of Seawright, who crosses him over. This is getting wild. The 09. I think maybe it started out as on purpose, and once he got in the middle of the corner, it was too much speed for those tires to stay on the track. Drifted up and lost a position to Hammond. He didn't lose the position because Hammond's a lap down, but lost the track position now as Seawright can focus on the 6 truck. Kano is gaining on the 33 the last couple laps here. He has been faster than Craighead every of the last 5 laps. 2/10, 1/10, 2/10, about even. 5 to go. Now 0.35 between these drivers, and it's going down. Kano is catching Craighead. Can he get there in time? Continues to gain on the 33. You gotta wonder, did Craighead save enough to defend a battle here at the end? We're going to jump on board with Landon Cano as he tries to track down the 33. 4 laps to go. It's a second and a half back to third. The battle for the race is between these two drivers right here, right now. Deep into the corner with that downshift. Again, they're going all the way to third to get these trucks to rotate here at Motegi. In the Motegi Mo Problems 179. Now 3 to go. Greg had faster that last lap. Does the 45 have anything left in his tires to make a run? Just looks like he got in a little too deep the lap before to do what he wanted to do with that 45 truck, but great 3 and 4 right there. Still a 3/10 gap. Between Craighead and Cano. Time is running out for the 45. He's still gaining, but will it be enough? Oh, he really closes in on him right there in the entry to 3, but the 33 gets a better run off 4, but gets a little bit loose. Quarter second separate these two. White flag is out. This is the race. Skidmark Motorsports versus IT and Out Esports. And there's a lap car just in front of them. How's that going to play into this? They pull down and get out of the way. But it kind of messes up the entry to the corner for Cano. He can't dive it in there the way he might have wanted to. He's deep, almost to the outside of the 33, but he's not going to have it. Craighead in the 33, going to hold off the whole field. And Landon Cano and win another one here in the THDesign Truck Series, this time in Japan at the Mobility Resort Motegi track. That is his 4th win of the season for Cameron Craighead. Again, Landon Cano in second. Coleman Chapman for Dirty South Racing bringing it home 3rd. All 3 of these drivers up and down in the field. Now a little extracurricular contact here as drivers are maybe not paying as much attention as they should be. Getting back to pit lane. Didn't hurt anybody too badly though, as the 33 is going to drive it around to do some celebrating. And there it is. This is your GEC burnout cam here with Cameron Craighead picking up his 4th win of the season at Motegi as he burns it down. And as drivers filter in, we're going to get some interviews going here in just a minute. Craighead's still putting on his celebration. Chapman also doing some donuts on pit lane. And Boyd celebrated too. He did come home with a top 5, that 21 did, after being 2 laps down with heavy damage. So these two celebrating a great run for them. And while we watch these guys kind of keep racing it out, we're going to go ahead and chat with our second place finisher, 45, Landon Cano. Landon, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, you were tracking him down the last few laps. We were watching the lap times, and it seemed like once you got within about 4/10, you just couldn't get the clean air to make the move. And then that lap car right there at the end kind of threw a wrench into what I was guessing was going to be a big dive bomb for you right at the end of the race. But walk us through your night. You had a great run of ups and downs, a lot of pit and fuel strategy here, but in the end, it was just kind of pure speed.
No, yeah. I mean, you talk about ups and downs. There's a flipping roller coaster ride is what tonight was. But proud to bring the 45 forward now for IT and out esports group to second. It was a lot of coming and going. Played strategy. Felt like we had the faster truck, but is what it is.
Yeah, one of these restarts, we saw some contact that pushed you out of line. What kind of happened there? It didn't seem to hurt you all that much, but definitely not what you want when you're trying to get a run.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what happened. All I know is I got shoved out of line, and then what happened. But either way, brought it back.
Yeah, at one point in this race, I think you drove all the way from 27th to 1st while those green flag pit cycles are going on in stage 1. And then the caution came out, and it kind of sets you up in a good spot. A lot of pit strategy tonight. Just what's going through your head when you're trying to decide, is this a fuel only? Should I stay out? 2 tires, 4 tires? How are you making those decisions?
Really just talking to my spotter, crew chief, Michael Boone. Really just kind of playing out what we could do throughout the race. We knew we were in a tight situation when we were back in 27th. So really when that caution came out, it was just a lucky ticket for us to come back up front and take 2 and get to the end of the race.
Well, we were talking about your stats here right at the end. Not able to get to victory lane yet this season. This is going to be your 4th top 5, your 3rd podium finish. You got to feel like you're knocking on the door of victory here heading into the end of the regular season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for rubbing it in. But no, yeah, I mean, it'll come eventually. If we just keep executing like we're doing, we'll get to victory lane, no problem.
Absolutely, yeah. I was not trying to rub in the no win. Was trying to celebrate your other stats. You're just consistently running at the front, leading a lot of the points here in stats for this IT and Out Esports Group Ford team. Now I'm going to have to talk to Ellswick about that. But
yeah.
But congratulations again. Anybody else you want to thank for your run tonight?
Like I said, all these guys, the whole crew at IT and Out Esports Group, give me an opportunity yet again to drive with them. Glad we were able to bring home all those top 5s, but that one will come. Nearly all my friends, family watching at home. Glad it was fun. Fun racing. Yes,
sir. Congratulations again on the victory. We'll see you out there next week.
Yes, sir. No problem. Second.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. All right. Next up, going to be a 3rd place finisher, Coleman Chapman. Coleman, you got a copy?
I got you.
How about that one? I mean, you had a pretty up and down night, as low as 26 there, having to make some repairs, getting caught up in an early caution. How did you make your way back to the front? And how did you hold on? Because it doesn't look like you went to pit road since somewhere around lap 85.
Yeah, really got behind it early, getting wrecked and having some repairs and stuff, and just really pushing. And luckily the truck hung on, and just, man, I can't thank Dirty South Racing enough for bringing trucks that are this good every week to be able to make those long runs like that at the end.
Absolutely. We saw you doing a little extracurricular donuts there on pit road with the 21. It's got to feel good to be able to celebrate again, especially as how hard you fought back. We talked to some of the drivers already about tires, but like I said, you didn't pit, I think, since around lap 85 or so. How important were tires tonight, or was it really all about track position?
A little bit of both, really. Tires was a big thing, but once I've halfway found a decent line to be able to hang in just enough to be able to stay right there to hopefully force mistakes, and that helped out a lot. But yeah, the tire deal was really tough. If you push too hard for 5 laps. I mean, you was off half a second to over a second.
Yeah, and I think there were definitely times where we saw trucks fading to the back, kind of guessing that was the issue, but you still brought it home third. Congratulations on the podium finish. Anybody else you got to thank for tonight's run?
Just y'all at THD Designs, GEC NASCAR League. I mean, y'all put on a great league. Got to thank all my sponsors: Alexander Auto, Duckworth Barbecue Company, Linger Lures, Select Seal Coating, and as well as all my friends and family. Like Kano said, watching back at home. Just awesome to be able to come out here and put on a show like we did, to come from the back and come back up and get a podium finish. Just exciting to hopefully getting our mojo back in the right direction.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations again on the podium finish, and we'll see you out there next week.
Absolutely. See y'all.
Next up, our race winner, 4-time winner this season and points leader, Cameron Craighead of the 33. Cameron, you got a copy?
Yeah, I did, cop.
All right. How about that one? I mean, it seemed like you had the fastest truck. You get out and lead some laps, then there'd be a caution, and a handful of trucks would stay out on old tires or less tires. Then you'd lead some laps, and then there'd be a caution, and a handful of trucks would stay out. Through that, it just seemed like you were committed to being the first truck, or one of the first trucks on fresh tires to get back to the front, and that seemed to have worked out for you. Walk us through your night.
Yeah, a bunch of trading with people on old tires. People want to lead, people want to get up front, try to get some bonus points, and I get that. It's a little frustrating in the moment though, but fresh tires never hurt nobody, so I'm always willing to go down and get some. But yeah, the track position was a hard thing to get through people. This place is single file, so once you get down in the pack, you gotta fight really hard to get up there. And most of the time, by the time you get back up front, you burn your tires back off, and you need to go down and get some fresh ones. But we made it work and got up front and won.
Yes, you did. And we were kind of watching you come up through the field with sometimes following some other drivers. We were also pretty excited there on one of those final restarts. You're side by side with Griffin, and we've seen you two put on a show before. Walk us through what it's like racing with some of these guys that you've been racing with all season, and you kind of build up a little bit of a rivalry with them.
Yeah, rivalry. Oh, I don't know. Sometimes it gets a little heated, but I would never consider a rivalry with anyone right now yet. But Griffin's a great guy to race with. He's a very good driver, and so is other people like Kano, Hammond, Boyd, and Griffin. Not Griffin, but Kano. But they're all good drivers, so I enjoy racing. Now that I know what they prefer, like how they race, I can use that to my advantage and pass them better.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the track. I mean, this is not, the typical North Carolina oval. This is it's in Japan. It's built by Honda, designed for IndyCar testing. What's it like to have a NASCAR truck out on this track? And does it remind you of any other NASCAR tracks?
First of all, my personal opinion, this track sucks, but it was still fun. It was good to learn. Everybody needs to get out of their comfort zone. There was a lot of shifting, especially in 3 and 4. There was shifts, so it makes it really tricky. But it's pretty much the opposite of Gateway. Turn 1 and 2 is like 3 and 4 at Gateway, so it's pretty similar to that. So if you know Gateway, you can do this track pretty well, but really rough. Single file. Which not much side by side here, but it still put on a good show, I think.
Yes, sir. And then, I mean, you come home first in exciting fashion too. Akano is kind of gaining for you there at the end. We're watching the lap times. He's gaining a tenth, 2 tenths, and then an even lap. But when he got to your bumper, it seemed like you just had saved just enough of the tires and maybe using the dirty air to hold on to it. So congratulations again, your 4th win of the season. You're going to be heading into the playoffs with a pretty good buffer there on bonus points. So you got to feel great about that.
Yeah. I want to shout out Kano for that. He had a incredible run right there at the end too, but it takes one thing to catch somebody. It takes another to pass them.
Absolutely. Well, you had the passes on tonight. Congratulations again on the win. We'll see you out there next week.
Alrighty.
And our 4th place finisher, Jamie Griffin, is also in the booth. We talked to Jamie a little bit. Jamie, how you doing?
Well, I wasn't expecting to talk, but it was a hard night. It really was. I struggled right dead in the beginning. I wound up going down for a green flag pit stop and caught a black flag. I almost got it cleared, but I was like, you know what? Let's just go back out there and see what happens. And it just so happened during the stage, I wound up getting that lap back and caught back up. A lot of practice to be able to even be close to fast. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch up with Craighead there. But, a lot of these guys are lightning fast and they're really great drivers. And Kano and, Craighead and those guys, as I was catching up to them, or they were catching up to me, I knew I wasn't going to be able to hold on to it. So just a couple of mistakes, but still came out P4. Not bad.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that black flag because we saw it. We didn't know exactly what it was for, but you were following Boyd onto pit road. He picked up a black flag too. So was it just both of you kind of coming in too hot?
No, I actually came in just fine, but he slowed down to about 25 miles an hour or 30 miles an hour in a 50-mile-an-hour lane, and I had to avoid him. So I swerved down to the outside, and so I didn't obstruct his pit stop. I tried to get up in front of him a little bit so he could get behind me, but I caught a speeding, trying to avoid the incident.
I got you. I think he was speeding as he came on, and so he slowed down to try and compensate in that first timing loop, and that kind of did do. But both of you recovered fantastically. He finished right behind you in 5th too. So great rebound for you guys. Yeah, not the perfect night you're looking for, but we're looking at your lap chart right now. You drop all the way to 27th, and then it's just all the way up until you get to the lead and then finish in the top 5. So congrats on that.
Yeah, it was an amazing journey and really tough track for a lot of us. And I'm just super happy these guys came out and put a hell of an effort, and they came out and turned out to be a great race.
It really did. We'll have to poll the drivers on whether or not they want it again next season, but it was some pretty exciting racing up here in the booth. So we're going to take a look at our final results and wrap this thing up here. It was Cameron Craighead taking home the win, Landon Cano and Coleman Chapman rounding out the podium, then Jamie Griffin, Michael Boyd, your top 5, Jonah Seawright, Lee Kiernan, TJ Handley, Sol Denny, and Nate Weaver, your top 10. Both Denny and Weaver both had great recoveries there on the final run. Then Katz, Monin, Anthony, Abu Said, Khan, McMillan, Simmons, Weibel, Sellers, and Gonzalez are your top 20, and everyone that was on the lead lap. Then Culleton, Hammond, Aaron Yancey, Faria Jr., Yancey, Gallman, that's Scotty Yancey in 25th, Gallman, Setzer, Brianna Thompson, she was running up front early on before catching some damage that dropped her to the back. Last week's winner. Then Shelton Hayes rounding out your top 30. And that's going to wrap it up for us here at the THDesigns Truck Series, the Motegi Mo Problems 179. If you like what you see tonight, tune in Thursday as we're going to be racing the Cup Series, not at Motegi, but still at an international oval at Monza in Italy. So this Motegi track built by Honda to compete in IndyCar, Monza built by Ferrari to compete in F1. Going to be a really interesting race there. So tune in if you get a chance. Thanks for tuning in tonight and engaging in the chat. Hit that like and subscribe to get all the action here at GEC NASCAR, and we will see you again next week.
Sun's going down and the rig is on. iRacing is where I belong. Discord's lit and the drivers are here. This is GEC, there's no room for fear. Green flag drops and the engines roar. 40 cars and we all want more. Mash the gases, we're on the line. 4 wide and we're feeling fine. Drifting close in a slipstream.